Hello students, I am Jitendra Choyal and I have brought one more video for you people from class 11th, book Hornbill, chapter 3, Discovering Tut. The saga continues. The saga continues. Saga here means a long narrative prose, or you can call it a legend, a long story. Okay, so that is called a saga, right? So discovering Tut. Tut is an Egyptian king. Okay, Tut is the name of Egyptian king, and he is discovered. He is the Egyptian king Tut. Okay, and he is discovered by someone. Okay, so we'll read about the details about this king, and the details about the investigation of his mummy. Okay, which was done by many archaeologists. Right now, so let's start with this chapter. He was just a teenager when he died. He means King Tut. Okay, so he was just a teenager when he died. At the time of his death, he was just a teenager. He might be of 17, 18 or 19 years. Okay, but he was a teenager. In a teenage, he died. The last heir of a powerful family and had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. He was led to rest, laden with gold, and eventually forgotten. Okay, and he was the last heir. Heir means what we call descendant. Okay, so he was the last heir of a powerful family that had ruled Egypt for many centuries. So he was the last ruler. Okay, and he was left to rest, laden with gold. Okay, and eventually he was forgotten. Means people forgot about him. The coming generations, they forgot about him. Nobody remembered him. Since the discovery of his tomb in 1922, the modern world has speculated about what happened to him. Okay, and when the discovery was made about his tomb means the grave. Okay, so about his grave, about his tomb, about this king Tut, people came to know once again when the discovery was made. Okay, in 1922. Now, with murder being the most extreme possibility, and people came to know when his mummy was discovered by the archaeologists. Okay, then people came to know, and they suspected that most probably he was murdered. How did he die? He was murdered. People thought so, that there was a more a strong possibility of murder, right? People concluded that. Now leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years, Tut has undergone a CT scan that offers new clues about his life and death. Now, in 1922, his mummy was discovered, and then it was left there, and then only. Okay, then after 80 years, Tut's mummy had to undergo a CT scan. CT scan, you all know what is a CT scan. Okay, you can see Egypt on the world map. The red mark, what you are seeing, the red color, that is Egypt in the world map. Okay, and so he was laden with gold. Tut's mummy was kept to rest in a grave, or we can call in a tomb. Okay, so this mummy is laden with gold. You can see the whole coffin box is made of gold. Okay, and this is the tomb, the grave, the big tomb. Okay, and so CT scan you all know, and next I will show you what is a CT scanner and how it is done. Okay, so Tut's mummy had to undergo a CT scan after 80 years, since it was discovered in 1922. Now Tut has and when a CT scan was made, then more clues were cleared, or more clues were exposed to the people about his life and death. Okay, and provides precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction. Now, what is forensic reconstruction? That mummy and that CT scan provides an accurate data for forensic reconstruction. What is forensic reconstruction? This is forensic reconstruction. You can see they might have found this kind of skull or bones, okay, and then they created the face in this way. This is called forensic reconstruction, right? So through that CT scan, people got data, precise data, exact data to which helped the archaeologist to create forensic reconstruction of Tut's face. Now, of the boyish pharaoh. Now, what is pharaoh? Pharaoh, you must see, this is the CT scanner, okay. The lady is being CT scanned, the doctor is CT scanning, this is the machine, okay. And this person means this is the pharaoh, Egyptian king. Egyptian king is known as a pharaoh. Egyptian ruler is known as a pharaoh. So this kind of attire they have, okay. Now, an angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egypt cemetery known as the Valley of Kings. Okay, when Tut's mummy, Tut's coffin box, Tut's body was moved out from his grave, from his tomb, then a violent wind started blowing. Okay, and where was Tut's tomb? Tut's tomb was in Valley of Kings. This is the Valley of King, which is situated in Egypt. Okay, you can see it's a big place, and this place where all mummies of rulers are kept in this building. You can see. Okay, so this is called Valley of Kings. Dark bellied clouds had scudded across the desert sky all day and now were veiling the stars in casket grey. Okay, and when Tut's body was brought out, Tut's mummy was brought out of his tomb, then dark clouds started hovering in the sky. Okay, and they veiled. Veiled means they covered. Okay, they covered the casket grey sky. Casket is a kind of carrier. Okay, carrier. Okay, so here the sky is being referred as a casket, and the stars which were there, which were present in the casket, so those were covered with the veil of clouds. It was 6 p.m. on January 2005. The world's most famous mummy glided head first into a CT scan brought here to probe the lingering medical mysteries of this little understood young ruler who died more than 3,300 years ago. And it was 6 p.m. when Tut's mummy was glided into the CT scanner. Okay, I showed you CT scanner. Okay, so it was 6 p.m. when Tut's mummy was glided into the CT scanner. Okay, and here there were many medical mysteries which were cleared after that CT scan. Okay, about this little young king who died before 3,300 years ago. All afternoon, the usual line of tourists from around the world had descended into the cramped, rock-cut tomb, some 26 feet underground, to pay their respects. And throughout the afternoon, people or tourists, they kept coming to the tomb of this famous king Tut. This is the tomb which is underground, 26 feet underground. Okay, it is situated underground in the Valley of Kings. So people and tourists, they kept coming to see Tut's mummy, Tut's tomb. Okay, now, and to pay their respects. They gazed at the murals on the walls of the burial chamber and peered at Tut's gilded face, the most striking features of his mummy-shaped outer coffin lid. Okay, now what happened? all the tourists who had come to see Tut's mummy, so they kept looking these murals. These are the murals, the pictures which were made on the wall of Tut's tomb. Okay, those were murals. So they kept gazing at these murals in the burial chamber. This is the burial chamber of Tut's mummy. Now, and the most fascinating thing about Tut's mummy was, what was that? Its face. Tut's face was out of the coffin box. It was a little bit raised out of the coffin box, and on the lid of the coffin box you can see the body's face has been raised a little bit from this coffin box. Okay, now some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper, others stood silently, perhaps pondering Tut's ultimate death in his late teens, or wondering with a shiver if the pharaoh's curse, death or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him was really true. Now whoever tourists came to pay him respect, to visit him, to see him, whoever tourists came there, they were having guidebooks with them. So some of them were reading from the guidebooks and they were whispering to each other. They were talking in a low tone. Okay, some others were silent. Okay, some others were pondering about his death, how he would have died. Okay, they were thinking about that. And some other people, they were thinking that this pharaoh's curse will fall on those people. Curse, bad omen, or bad wishes. Okay, so this pharaoh's curse would fall on those people who dared to disturb this pharaoh, this ruler. Okay, actually this pharaoh was lying in his tomb very silently. Okay, and these fellows, the archaeologists, they went there and they disturbed him. They interrupted his rest. Okay, so they thought that probably the pharaoh would curse them. Okay, and was really true, and it was true that the pharaoh had cursed them. How? Let's see. The mummy is in very bad condition because of what Carter did in 1920s, said Zahi Hawass, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, as he leaned over the body for a long first look. Now Zahi Hawass, he was the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. He was the secretary of this organization, Zahi Hawass, and as he leaned over Tut's body, Tut's mummy, leaned means he bent. Okay, so as he bent over this Tut's body, he came to know that the body was destroyed, or it was harmed by someone. And who was that person? Carter. And when this body was harmed, or there was some destruction into the mummy, and when it was done in 1920s. Okay, we already have seen that it was discovered in 1922. Now, so he looked for a long time, and then he came to know that there was some damage in the Tut's mummy. Howard Carter. Who was Carter? Howard Carter. Okay, that is what the British archaeologist who in 1922 discovered Tut's tomb after years of futile searching. Okay, who was Carter? Howard Carter, who discovered Tut's mummy in 1922 after searching for a long time. He discovered Tut's mummy. Okay, its contents, though hastily ransacked in antiquity, were surprisingly complete. Okay, now its content, the mummy's content, whatever there in the coffin box, those contents were all right, though those were hastily ransacked, means those were disturbed, and those were harmed a little bit, but still they were complete. They were not broken, or they were not missing, right? Who discovered this? Zahi Hawass. Okay, first time Carter discovered Tut's mummy, and then he harmed a little bit part of that mummy. Okay, but later on Zahi Hawass found that somebody already had harmed this mummy. Okay, but the content were complete and nothing was missing. Now, They remain the richest royal collection ever found and have become part of the pharaoh's legend. Okay, and those things remain there, the richest collection of the pharaohs of the pharaoh. Okay, and now those have become the part and parcel of that pharaoh's legend, story, long story. Okay. Stunning artifacts in gold, their eternal brilliance meant to guarantee resurrection, caused the sensation at the time of the discovery. And those things, whichever things, gold things or the other things, were kept with the in the coffin box of Tut's mummy. Okay, so all those things were stunning. Okay, and due to those things, Tut's mummy seemed to be alive, though it was not alive, but it seemed to be alive due to those things. Now, but Tut was also buried with everyday things he would want in afterlife: board games, a bronze razor, linen undergarments, cases of food and wine. And see, we also have some Hindu or Hindu traditions. They also follow the same, as will be discussed in the chapter. Tut's mummy, along with Tut's body, some things which Tut used in his daily life, those things were buried along with Tut's body, thinking that people thought that Tut would need those things in his afterlife. After dying, he would need those things in his afterlife. So that's why, believing that, people kept those things into Tut's body, along with Tut's body. And what were those things? Board games, a bronze razor, linen undergarments, cases of food and wine. These things were kept with Tut's body into his grave, into his tomb. Why? Because people believed that these things would be provided to Tut in his afterlife, after when he will be rebirth, or he will go to the next birth, to the next life. Then he will get all these things. These things will be provided to him by God or something. Okay, the same thing is followed in Hindu mythology also, or Hindu tradition also. People follow the same. Okay, now after months of careful recording of Pharaoh's funerary treasures, Carter began investigating his nested coffin. After months of careful investigation of Pharaoh's funerary treasure, whatever gold things were buried with Pharaoh, with this king. So those were investigated by Carter, that treasure and those things which were buried along with Tut's body, those were investigated by Carter after months of investigation. Okay, Carter began, and then after months of investigation, after investigating the treasure of Tut's body, the treasure buried with Tut's body, after investigating that, he started investigating the three-nested coffin box of Tut. Okay, three-nested means three-layered. Okay, this coffin box was of three-layered. Then he started investigating that. Opening the first, he found a shroud adorned with garlands of willow and olive leaves. When he opened the first layer of that coffin box, so he found the Pharaoh adorned. Adorned means decorated. Okay, so decorated with garlands of willow. Garlands of willow. Just a minute. These are the willow garlands. Okay, so his body was decorated with garlands of willow garlands, and then olive leaves. These are the olive leaves. So his body was decorated with this also. And then next thing, wild celery. This is the wild celery. So these this plant or leaves were also there on Tut's body. And then next, lotus petals. Lotus, you know very well. So lotus petals were also there, the flowers petals. Okay, and the next thing, corn flowers. So this is the corn flower. So Tut's body was decorated with all these things, right? After Carter removed the first layer of the coffin box of his mummy. Now, the faded evidence of a burial in March or April, and all these things were buried, or Tut's body was decorated with all these things. So these are the evidence. These are the evidences that Tut was buried in the month of March or April. These things proved this. Okay. Now, when he finally reached the mummy, though he ran into trouble, the ritual resins had hardened, cementing Tut to the bottom of his solid gold coffin. Okay. And when he reached to the Tut's body, after removing one layer, then the second layer, when he reached to Tut's body, so he found that the ritual resins means some liquid which is put on the dead body. Okay, so in those times some liquid would have put on the on Tut's body. So that resin, that liquid hardened Tut's body, and Tut's body was stuck fast to the gold coffin. It was stuck fast. Okay. Now, no amount of legitimate force could move them. Carter wrote later what was to be done, and then Carter wrote in his experience, when he shared his experience. So he told that no amount of legitimate force, legitimate is normal force. Okay, so normal force could not move Tut's body from its from his coffin box. Okay, now what to do? Okay, he told now what to do. Okay, what to be done, right? So this was the question lingering in Tut's mind. Okay, in this video only this much. Soon, very soon I will be present in front of you with the second part of this chapter. Okay, thank you very much.